Hey, what's going on, Dev? Welcome back to Web Dev channel. In today's episode, you're gonna learn how to create a custom countdown using JavaScript step by step and from scratch. This will allow users to enter a title for something they wanted to count down to, and right below that we have an input date where he can use this handy date picker here. You click submit and we have a countdown here. As you notice, we also have a video background. Another cool thing about this countdown project is that we have stored it in the local storage. So you can refresh the page or come back to the page another day and the countdown will still be running. When the countdown is over, we will have this complete text animation here. We have the title and we have the date that it finished. So let's get started. Alright, start from the beginning. We have this folder, okay? A started folder. I want to download this one, and as you can see we have nothing but just a simple boilerplate and a couple of lines here in the CSS, okay? I did that because I don't want the video to be too long, okay? And in this part here, for example, is about GLIs, a few things about the inputs, okay? So we start with our boilerplate. Alright, and now we start from the beginning, okay? Both on the same page. Let's have our video background. Let's comment this out. And here let's have our video tag, okay? The class is gonna be video background. We don't need the source here. We're gonna have the source inside of this one. We want that loop to be muted without audio and autoplay all the time, okay? Now inside this one we have the source, and the source is gonna be pointing to our video, okay? To our time.mp4. I got this one for this website Pixabay. You can go to the site and pick the one you like the most, or if you want you can download this one from the link down below in the video description, okay? And below this we're gonna create a overlay, okay? Make it easier for the user to read our content, okay? So div with the class of overlay. Alright, we're in the realm of CSS where part of the magic will happen, okay? Let's start out with the media queries here, okay? We want that to be responsive. So height is gonna be 100 VH. And for the width is going to be 100 VH, okay? And another thing here, object fit cover, okay? Let me show you why we need this one. Let me show you, okay? You see, in a small screen, it becomes horizontal, and we don't want that, okay? Let me uncomment this one. And now, as you can see, it's vertical, okay? So that's it. Our media screen is almost done. Alright, now we're gonna create our overlay on our video, okay? Let's start with its size. The height here is gonna be 100 VH, the full screen, okay? And width is gonna be 100 VW. And for the background here, let's pick the black color, okay? It's gonna be easier for us to read. So let's pick the black, and for the alpha or transparency 0.35. That because we're gonna have our main container as a square in the middle, okay? It's gonna be right here in the middle, okay? And now we're gonna create that container, our main container, the one I told you we're gonna have over this one, okay? And as you can see, we have already some settings about this one, like display flags and just like content, okay? To put that in the middle. And now let's go to the background. The background here, let's pick a white column. Okay, it's gonna be the white on the black. Make a very easy to read. So 255, okay, 255, 255, and for the transparency 0.85, 85% transparency. Okay, and most of the project today, we want that to be responsive, okay? So when you go to a small screen, as you can see, we have this very ugly scroll bar, okay? And our main container, the white one, is not good, okay? So let's change a few things here. Min width is gonna be unset, okay? And let's change its width, okay? I'm gonna change that to 95. If you're not happy with that number, you can try, I don't know, maybe 90 or 85%, okay? As you can see, we got rid of that ugly scroll bar, and you can read very well also on very small screens, okay? Okay, now let's populate this white container, okay, with our input first. Let's come here and let's have a comment input, because after that we're gonna have our countdown and then the complete, okay? We need a div with the class and ID of input container. Inside this one, we need the h1 say create a countdown. You can say countdown timer, wherever. I'm gonna say countdown container just to remember here. And under this one, we're gonna have our forms, okay? The form, the class form, and the ID is gonna be countdown form. We're gonna be using that on our JavaScript, okay? Inside this form here, let's have our first label here. Label, title, okay? And let's have our input. Remember that the ID and the for, they must match, okay? And here let's have a placeholder, say your countdown, okay? Now let's move to the second one. This one also requires a label, of course. Date picker is a for, and in here let's say select a date. The user is gonna click here, select a date, okay? So the input here, the ID of course is gonna be the same as the for, so date picker, and the type here is gonna be date. All right, as you can see, change your red. And last but not least, let's have a button, okay? The button with the class submit. And as you can see, we have already some CSS layout applied to this one for free, okay? That one that you download in the beginning of the video. All right. Now let's move into the CSS and apply some style to it. As you can see, we have already here our H1, but the font is not good, okay? It's actually very bad. I really don't like it, okay? So it's quite simple to fix that. Let's go to the Google Fonts, look for Roboto or something like that. English is my secondary language, okay? So let's paste here, and of course, nothing changed, okay? Why not? Because we have to apply it here. So in the body, font family is gonna be Roboto, and sans serif as a fallback plan in case of you cannot load this one, okay? As you can see, the title has changed, but not in the inputs. So let's change here, font family also in the inputs. It's gonna be the same thing, Roboto and sans serif. As usual, let's apply style from top to the bottom, okay? And let's apply same style to this button. We want that the users has the impression that something is responding to him, okay? As you can see, we increase the brightness by 150%. Is that enough? No, it's not. I also want when he clicks on it, it also changes, okay? So button.active transform scale, let's decrease that to 0.95. Let me show you. We click here and it decreases a little bit. Is that good? No, it's not. we need some transition, okay? This is gonna be more natural. Let's apply the transition to all in 0.2 seconds is in. And now let me show you. Okay, it's very beautiful. He clicks and he knows he's clicked on something. Okay, this part of the container, the input is done. And our idea here is let's hide this one, okay? And you're gonna see now and just the countdown, okay? This is not gonna be done hard code like this way. We're gonna do that using JavaScript, but for now, let's hard code, okay? Let's comment it here, comment it out, countdown, and for the countdown, let's have a countdown div with the countdown ID for the JavaScript, okay? And let's have a h1. The class is gonna be countdown title, and the ID countdown title. We're gonna use this one also on JavaScript, okay? But let's have a placeholder title for now. Countdown title here, okay? This is gonna be out populate using JavaScript. Let's have another list, okay? Inside this one, we need 4 allies and 4 spans, okay? Let's now hard code the numbers, okay? The days, hours, minutes, and seconds. This is gonna also be out-populate using JavaScript. We're gonna delete that later on, okay? So days, hours, minutes, and the seconds. Okay, let me save. Okay, as you can see, they are on the top of each other. And now let's create the button with the ID countdown button. And here, let's say reset, okay? And this part is done. So let's, as you can see, we need to apply some CSS and put them side by side, okay? That's actually quite easy to do, okay? Let me look for this one. Let me show you something that you have here for free. The list style none. We get rid of this ugly boilerplate, okay? So let's change the layout here. The display is gonna be inline block. And yeah, you have what you're gonna have for the final result. It's gonna be something like that, all right? As you can see, it is responsive. Let's say, for example, the number 3, it was 80 pixels, and in the small screen is just 40 pixels. Okay, that's great. Okay, the countdown interface is done. We did the input and the countdown. Let's do the same. Let's use the attribute here hidden. And now, as you can see, we no longer can see the input or the countdown. Now is the time for us to create the complete, okay? So let's comment out here, complete. Like the first and second one, let's have a div, the complete, ID and class complete, okay? Inside this one, let's have a h1 with the class of complete dash title. And here, let's say countdown complete, all right? We need another one. This one is gonna be out complete using JavaScript. So let's say h1 ID complete info. And let's have a placeholder. Let's say for now, countdown finish on 06/05/2022. Okay, this one is gonna be changed using JavaScript. All right. And last but not least, let's create also a button. Okay, this is gonna have a ID of complete button. Okay, and this one is gonna generate a new countdown. So button, new countdown. And yeah, our interface for this one is done. We can see our interface for the complete is done. but there is something we can do, okay? Let's apply some animation to our countdown complete H1, okay? This text here, first one. First of all, let's grab this one. Let me show you. Complete title is the class. Animation, complete, 4 seconds, and infinite. Yeah, I know we're talking about animation and we don't have it yet, okay? So let's create this one, complete, add keyframes complete, and at 0% something's gonna happen, at 25, 50, and 100%, okay? So let's start with 0, 25, and 50% here. And this one is 75, and now 100%. And now let's have the rainbow colors, okay? This is gonna be changed the colors. Remember that I would like to say thank you to all my patrons because they really help me. This is a small channel. And the patrons, they have access to all our source code, okay? Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to the second color here. And the first one was ready, and the second one here is gonna be, let me see here, 233. Let me redo this one, okay? RGB 223, 211, 13. So we have yellow here. Let's go to the third one. Let's say color RGB, and here is gonna be 64, 223 and 13. So you have green. Okay, let's go to the 75% and let's make a couple of changes here too. Okay, 0, 38, and 253, and we have blue. Okay. And now let's move to 100%, our last color here. 181, 1 and 16, and 231, we have purple, okay? As you can see on the left, we have already a nice animation, okay? The colors are changed in 4 seconds, okay? Like the rainbow colors, but we need to do something else. Let's change the scale, okay, to transform. And the scale, let's say 1.5%, 1.5, okay? And yeah, as you can see, it goes bigger and smaller, okay? It makes a very nice effect. We are now in the realm of the JavaScript where the magic happens, okay? Let's start by get reference to the HTML elements and saving them into variables, like this one, the input container, okay? Let's have another one, the countdown form, and we are doing that because this way we can manipulate them, okay? You can delete, you can change, do whatever you want, okay? So const countdown form document get element by ID, okay? You remember we got this ID, countdown form. This one const data element document dot get element by ID date picker. Okay, and right below this one, let's work with our date inputs, okay? So let's set date input with the minimum, okay? And using the today's date. It's quite simple. Let's first create our const called that today, and let's set that to new date, okay? This is gonna grab today's time, and let's use the to ISO string, all right? Let me show you what you're gonna have here. Let's go to the DevTools here in Google Chrome. And as you can see, we have the date 14th of June 2022, but we also have all this nonsense stuff from the T to the right, okay? And we don't want that. So let's solve this issue. How? Let's use the JavaScript method split, okay? We want everything before the T. So let me show you. Now we have an array with our date here is the 0 index, And then in the one index, we have all that nonsense stuff, all right? And in here, let's tell the what we want. We want the 0, okay, the data. As you can see, now we have just today's date, okay, the 14 June 2022. And yeah, part of the job is done. Alright, let me show you something here. We have a little problem here. We want our user to come here and he's gonna be able to pick a date from the future, okay? But right now he can pick something from the past and the countdown is gonna count down to something in the future. That's the idea. And you have this problem, so let's fix that. Let's come here to the JavaScript and let's manipulate that date element, okay? Let's set a attribute minimum, and the minimum date here is going to be today. So let's come here, and as you can see, now we cannot pick another date, just the today's, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. The rest of them are blank, okay? So yeah, we fixed that problem. Okay, we have a date now, so our next text is be able to grab that input, okay? So let's have an event list. Let's grab our countdown form, add the event list on submit, use the button, okay? And when the submit happens, we want to run this function, the update countdown. Let's create this up here, okay? We talk about that, but we don't have that yet, so let's create. And let me comment out what this is gonna do. We're gonna take the values from our form, okay? From our input form. So let's have function. The name is gonna be update countdown. Just copy and paste is easier so you don't make typos. And right now, I would like to console that to the log, okay? And show to you what we have here. Console.log, our event. And let's pick any date here, just to illustrate what we're talking about. And something happens, we see and then we don't. Okay, let me show you again. Okay, there is a little problem here. The default is the page to refresh and send the data to someone else. Let's prevent that with prevent default, okay? So now let's give it a try. Learn.js, and let's pick any date here, let's say 17. And yeah, now we have all this info here, okay? And I would like to show you something instead of just tell you, okay? Let's see this source element here. We have our title, 0 index, our date picker, and our button, okay? If I come here to the index 0, and go all the way down, okay? There's a lot of properties here, there's a lot of different things, but there is just one that I want to show you, okay? This is gonna be our value. The value here is gonna be the title, but I want to show you so you're gonna be sure. The value here is gonna be wherever the input is, or wherever the title, okay? In this case, learn.js. Alright, and up here, let's have a countdown title, and let's set it equals to empty string, okay? The user is gonna pick that. And let's do the same for the date, okay? We have no way of knowing that, okay? The user is gonna type that. And once he types that, we want to grab. So let's have source element 0 index, as I showed you, and we want to grab the value, just the value, okay? Let's do the same here for the date, but let's just change the index. And let's see if that really works, okay? Let's say learn.js for the title, and let's pick a date here, just one date to learn.js. And yeah, we have both. We have the title, learn.js, and we will also have the date, okay? 15 June 2022. So as you can see, it's working nice. We have that on the console log. right below our countdown title and countdown date, let's have another variable, another global variable here. It's going to be a countdown value, okay? And let's set that to date, okay? The object date. And we are doing that because we want to grab the date, okay? The time we work with, the time in milliseconds, okay? So let me show you here what you're gonna do here. Let's first comment it out. Get number version, all right? Get number version of current time. So we are populating our countdown, okay, with those dates and numbers. So countdown value is equals to new date, okay, and inside this one, let's pass the countdown date and use the method get time. So we're gonna get the milliseconds, okay? Let's save this one and let's log that to the console. So console.log, and let's pass in countdown. Let's be sure here, show you countdown value, comma, and then we're gonna log the countdown value itself, okay? So let's come to the page. Let's pick a title here, like Learn.js. Let's pick a date. And yeah, as you can see, we have our title and we have the date. And below this one, we have how far we are from 1970s, okay? And the next step is gonna be delete all this info here, okay? All this hard-coded stuff, because we are gonna out-populate that using JavaScript, okay, instead. But as I told you before, in order to be able to manipulate anything here in the DOM, we have to get a reference to those elements. So let's bring them to the DOM. Const countdown element, document get element by ID, and ID here is countdown. The second one here is going to be the countdown element title, document get element by ID, and again, let's grab the countdown title. The third one here, const countdown btn. Let's do the same thing here, get element by ID, and it's this one, countdown button. This one is going to be a little different here, okay? Const time element, okay? Time elements is more than one, you see. So let's grab all the spans, okay? Query select all, and let's grab the spans, okay? Okay, and now we're gonna have a fun part of our project. We're gonna populate our DOM, okay? Update DOM is gonna be our main function here. And let's come here on the line 18 and let's comment this out, okay? So you'll know exactly what you're doing. Remember that our patrons, they can download the source code of all our videos, okay? So I would like to say thank you very much. This is a small channel and it helps a lot, okay? The function here is gonna be update DOM, okay? And you have a variable now, and the variable now is equals the new date dot get time. And the second one is gonna be the distance. And this one is equals the countdown value in the future minus now. Let me log that to the console, okay? Distance and comma distance, okay? So the user comes here and he says Learn.js, and he's gonna pick a date in the future, okay? And as you can see, we have here the learning, the title, and the date. And we have this here, the countdown value. And the more important here is the distance, okay? Is the distance between right now and the date that the user just selected, okay? Let's break those milliseconds, seconds, minutes, hours, and days, okay? Const second equals to 1000 milliseconds, okay? Minute here is gonna be equals 1 second times 60, okay? It's easy math. Hour is gonna be equals the minute times 60. Oops, okay. And const day is gonna be equals hour times 24, okay? And now in order to show the distance in days, hour, minutes, and seconds, let's do this. Let's have our const days. Let's use here the math floor and get the distance divided by day. The math floor, what is gonna do is gonna have to give us the whole number. If it's 1.5, you're gonna have 1, okay? And what's gonna happen with the reminder? Yeah, we're gonna use this in here in the hours. So distance reminders, in that case 1.5, we're gonna have the reminder of dot, okay, dot 5. So we're gonna divide that by hour, okay? Let's just duplicate this. The concept is the same. Let's have here const minutes is gonna be equals the distance reminder hour, okay? And let's divide that by minutes, all right? Let's do the same here for the seconds. The distance reminder minute, and let's divide that by second, okay? Now I would like to log that to the console and show to you everything here. Day, hours, minutes, and also the seconds, okay? Let's go to our page and see what we have so far, all right? Let's first of all give it a title. Again, let's say Learn.js. Let's say in 3 days and 2 days actually. So as you can see, we have 2 days, 10 hours, 50 minutes, and 32 seconds. And as you can see, it's working. Now we want to hide the input, okay? In order to do that, input container.hidden equals true. Secondly, we want to show our countdown, of course. So the countdown element dot hidden is equals to false. All right, and now let's populate our countdown, okay? Let me comment this out, populate countdown, and let's grab our reference to the HTML elements, okay? The first of all, the countdown element title, okay? And let's set that equals to, let's have a backstick here, $, and in here, let's have our countdown title, all right? Do you remember our expense? Okay, it's time for use then. So let's have the time elements, all right? Let's give the index of 0. Let's use the text content, backstick, and here let's have days, okay? The concept is quite simple. All I have to do now is duplicate those lines of code, okay? The index 1, 2, and 3. And let's change this one for hours, the minutes, and finally seconds, okay? And now let's see what you have so far. Okay, let's have a Learn.js. Let's pick a date here. Click submit, and yeah, as you can see, we have 1 day, 9 hours, 50 minutes, and 50 seconds. Okay, as you can see, we did well and we were able to populate our countdown. But as you can see, we have another issue. We have just a number, and this is not change, okay? is a static number. So let's take care of that right now, okay? Let's have a let countdown active, okay? Now is our time to think like a coder. And how can we fix this issue? One way of doing that is update our DOM every second, okay? How can we do that? You can use setInterval, okay? First of all, let's copy everything in this function, okay? Done. And here, let's have a countdown active. Set that to the setInterval. Let's have our arrow function. And in here, let's paste our code. All right. What's going to change? In here, we're going to say that we want to run that every second. And let's see what we have so far. Let's go to the title. Again, let's say learn.js. Let's give us a couple of days. And yeah, it's working. 2 days, 8 hours, 48 minutes, 45 seconds. And count down, okay? Next, we're gonna work with this button, the reset. This is gonna be actually quite simple. Okay, let's grab the countdown button and let's add event list into it. And this is gonna be on click. And when this click happens, this is gonna fire our reset function. All right. And now let's create our reset function. Okay, the one that's gonna reset our values here and stop our interval. Okay, and let's comment this out. Reset values function, and in here reset. Okay, and let's comment out everything. There is a few steps here. Let's hide our countdown and show inputs. Okay, so let's grab our countdown el hidden equals true. Okay, our input container hidden is gonna be equals false. Okay, and the next step here, let's stop our countdown. Okay, so let's use the clear interval and let's pass in our countdown active. All right. And one more thing here in our function, let's reset our two values. It's quite simple. Okay, our countdown title, let's put it back to nothing. Okay, and our countdown date as well. Okay, is also empty strings. Let's give it a try. And here, let's say learning.js. Okay, let's pick another date here. And as you can see, it's cut down. We click reset and it was very quickly, but it happened. Okay, let me do it again. 2 days, 8 hours, 34 minutes and 45 seconds. And let me click reset. And as you can see in the console and also in the pages not working, it stopped it. Okay, let me show. Yeah, it's really working. Let me show you here some bug that you can fix. If the user puts here just the title and not the date, we came across with this issue here. Okay, this bug. And let's fix that. Okay, let's use if statement to deal with that. All right, let's come up here. Okay, let's copy this one. This is what's gonna happen. Okay, let me just copy this, and in here let's have our if statement. Check for a valid date. Okay, if the countdown date is triple equals to empty string, so the user is not putting it there. Let's show him a alert saying, please select a date for the countdown, okay? Else we are gonna run our code, okay? So let's see if that works. Again, let's go to the title here. Let's have a title for our countdown, learn HTML, submit, and as you can see, we have this text here, and there is no countdown. Please select a data for your countdown, all right? And if you have a valid date, it's working. All right, and now let's go back to the HTML, and here let's delete those hard-coded text, okay? And after that, let's have these IDs complete and everything in the DOM, okay? Down here, let's grab a reference to the complete element. So let's save it into a variable. Complete EL. So document get element by ID. Let's grab the complete, okay? The second one, const. And here let's have a complete EL info. Document get element by ID. And again, the ID here is complete info. And the third one, complete button. Document get element by ID. And you have our complete button ID, okay? I just made a mistake here. I forgot the EL. And yeah, now we can manipulate the final part of the project. Okay, and now we want to handle what we're gonna do when the countdown is over, okay? First of all, let's keep this, okay? And paste up here. We need it anyway. Okay, we need to hide the input, and let's have our if statement. Actually, this one is going to be quite simple, okay? Let's comment out saying if the countdown has ended. In this case, show complete, okay? So if the distance is less than 0, so a negative number, what's gonna happen? So let's have curly brackets, and in here, countdown EL hidden equals true, so we don't want to show that. And we also want to stop the interval, so clear interval, countdown active, all right? And one more thing here, we want to have our complete EL info, text content, and let's have our template literals, countdown title, let's say finish on, and here let's have our countdown date, okay? This one is gonna show up when the countdown is over. The complete EL hidden is going to be false because, of course, we want to see that, okay? Else, we want to show the progress, okay? Continue to show the progress of the countdown. So let's go in this out, show the countdown in progress. Let's copy this one here and paste. And let's get rid of this here, we don't need it anymore. Okay, so let's see, let's save and see if that's working. Oh, I forgot. We also want to have the complete EL hidden here and set it to true, okay? And the countdown, of course, is what we want to show. So countdown element hidden equals false. yeah. Now we can see, okay, save, and let's see if it's working. And here, let's say learning, this time is gonna be React, okay. For today, as you can see, we have a negative number. Yeah, we have a animation. We have the title here, learning React, and also the date, the countdown date, okay. The next thing here, we're gonna deal with this button. All right, let's make it work, okay. So let's attach a ventilation to this one. It's gonna be down here. So let's have countdown complete button. Okay, I'm sorry, complete button. Add the ventilation click, and this is gonna also be fire the reset function. Okay, so on click, we're gonna reset. All right. So let's go up here to the reset function and let's add one more line of code here. Okay, the complete EL element here dot hidden, and we want to set that to true, so we don't see the complete anymore. All right, let's give it a try. Let's say learning React. Okay, let's have today's date. Click submit. Go to the new button, click on it, and yeah, we go to the input. Okay, the input container is right in front of us, and you can create another custom countdown. All right, it looks like we can improve this even more. Take a look. If we refresh this, the browser forget everything. And the idea of our countdown is that we have a countdown that we can come back tomorrow, after the day after tomorrow, and this is still here, okay? In order to do that, we have to save that to the local storage, okay? So let's have our last variable here, okay? It's gonna be a object. Let's call that saved countdown, okay? And in here, we're gonna save the title and also the date, okay? Let's come in here to our function, okay? To our update countdown. And let's create here. Let's set our object, okay? Save countdown. Let's have the title, okay? And the title is gonna be the countdown title, comma. The date is gonna be the countdown date, okay? Let me type here, countdown date. Okay, let me log that to the console so you can see what you have, okay? Saved countdown. Again, let's have something here in the title, like learn.js. Let's have a date, submit, and as you can see here, we have learn.js and also the date, okay? Take a look at this one. Today's date, the date, and also the title. As you can see, we have already that, okay? We have the title and also the date. So let's set those items to the local storage. So local storage, let's have the key, countdown, and let's pass in the saved countdown. Let's give it a try, okay? First, let's give the title, any title you want. Pick a date. And as you can see, we see the title here. Let's come to the application, local storage. Let me open this. Arrow down here, and we have the countdown key, but there is a problem. Down here, you can see just object. Okay, let's solve this issue. In order to be able to see that, we have to stringify that, okay? So use the JSON.stringify saved countdown, okay? Again, let's have any title here, like learn.js, another date, and yeah, now you can see the date here, okay, and the title. Both of them are here, okay? Okay, and now we're gonna find a way to retrieve those data from local storage, okay, if they are there, okay, if they are available. Let's comment this out, okay, so you don't get lost when you look a couple of days after, okay, it's also good. So the function restore previous countdown, all right, so if, just if the local storage get item, in our case the key is the countdown, if the countdown is there, what we want to do, we want to hide the input container, so input container dot hidden equals true, and the save countdown, now we're gonna turn that into object, okay, so JSON dot pass local storage dot get item, guess what, our countdown, okay, and why we need that as an object, because now we can retrieve, for example, the title, countdown title equals save.title, okay, we can use dot date, for example, saved countdown.date, and we're retrieving both of them. And if you are talking about just a string, we cannot do that, okay? And one more thing here we need to do here is have our countdown variable, set that equals to new date, okay, the same as you have up there, and pass in countdown date dot get time. We also want to update the DOM, okay. Let's give it a save, okay. And very important, we want to load that when our page loads, okay? So let's call the function on the bottom. Let's see if that's working. Let's reload here, and yeah, all the info is still here, okay? 1 day, 5 hours, 30 minutes, and 26 seconds, okay? So that's it for today's, guys. I really hope you like it. If you like it, you know what to do. Subscribe, and you also click that little bell down below so you get notified every time I post a new video. Bye bye. See you in the next one.